Club-style golf at municipal prices. You won't go wrong with the Ocala Golf Club. Call them for a tee time today, 352-401-6917.
This is Ocala Talks with Tom Schmidt, bringing stories that are important to our community in and around Ocala. Plus, of course, a splash of sports as well. Now, here's your host, Tom.
Good Wednesday morning. That's right, it's hump day on a beautiful, sunny, soon-to-be warm Wednesday. I'll be honest with you, I got on my Ocala Golf Club shirt. I got on my shorts. But I left my golf shoes at home because I just remembered that I was going to grab them out of the garage, and I didn't. Which means that the guy on the other end of this line, brought to you by Penn Flooring and Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Services, is kind of snickering because, you know, I wanted to go play golf today, and now I left my shoes at home, Galen.
Well, that just means I guess you have to go home early. I mean, you know, you gotta figure that out. You can't miss your tee time.
No, I don't have a tee time.
Or you just buy new shoes.
I do need new shoes. New shoes.
See, it was a Freudian slip.
I do.
Yeah.
Speaking of Freudian slips, little accident yesterday.
Yeah, and you know, it just happened to impact arguably the most important man in all of American sports, Tiger Woods. Right?
Arguably, he is the most important man in American sports, not named Tom Brady. I'll give you that.
No. I think without Tiger Woods, the whole CBS golf program is completely different.
Did you see him though?
The coverage is completely different.
Did you see his interview with Jim Nantz on Sunday at the Genesis Invitational?
Ooh. Wow.
Looked a little rough.
Well, you know, in his defense, he just had surgery, you know, yeah, I guess, you know, it's hard with Jim Nantz. It's not like Jim Nantz has ever asked a tough question in his entire life.
Hold on. But I'm talking about the way Tiger looked.
No, I get it. I
and
just
the
thought
surgery,
that was part of what he was trying to do.
And the surgery couldn't be.
That was his look.
The surgery couldn't be that bad. He played a practice round with Dwayne Wade Monday morning.
Yeah, I saw it, and I know a lot of people were looking at it. I was like, okay, you know, he's 45. Oh, yeah, he hasn't had plastic surgery, unlike Tom Brady, you know? So, I guess, I mean, it was way early in the morning. What was it, like 7:30 in the morning or something?
7:30 California time, yep.
Yeah, so, you know, if he was... Yeah, and obviously he was talking he was awake through the whole thing.
There was nothing found in the car. Toxicology reports are not back, but the police on the scene said they do not.
That'll take 2 weeks.
The police on the scene said they do not suspect any impairment whatsoever.
Right, and I believe that. You know, I just think he was going really fast down some windy roads.
Sounds like
he probably was on his phone.
Sounds like he was a little aggravated. Sounds like from the reports of him leaving the hotel parking lot, he almost struck somebody with his vehicle as he was leaving at a high rate of speed.
Right.
Sounds like he might have been a little. Look, I get aggravated sometimes. I'm in my car. I tend to press the gas pedal a little harder.
Absolutely. And all you have to do in a vehicle like that is touch the grass. Right. At 7:30 in the morning, it's probably a little slick. It's dewy. He touches the grass, he loses control.
He's done.
He flips 3 or 4 times, and he thankfully, you know, I don't know if that's a good sign for the car or not, but the sheriff's like, the airbag saved that guy's life. The whole cabin was fine. He just broke a leg.
Yeah, original report said he broke both legs. He did not. Now they say he broke the tibia, the femur, and some of it, and his ankle was messed up. They got rods and screws holding his leg together. Did you hear whether it was the right leg or the left leg?
No, I was going to ask you because that's incredibly important for
It
the
is.
golf
It is really important, and I hadn't heard which leg it is yet.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you that because I don't know if the person who doesn't play golf understands what the difference is. But, you have to be able to drive off of that right leg and torque it, and that's where all your power comes from.
If you're right-handed, if your right leg if he broke his right leg in 4 places where they had to put metal rods in the tibia and the femur to stabilize him, plus they had to put screws and plates in his ankle. If that's his right leg, recreational golf is the only thing Tiger Woods is ever playing again.
Right. Absolutely. And, I heard somebody, well, you and I were talking about, this won't be anything like Ben Hogan. No, you're correct. So, yeah. And granted, he's 45. You just don't recover that well. You just don't. Sorry. I get it, modern medicine. And the fact that he is in great shape for a 45-year-old will help his recovery. And the fact that he could dedicate his entire life to his recovery helps. Unlike, if that happened to you and I, we'd be like, okay, I guess we won't really walk right for, 2 or 3 years because we still have to go to work. But he can dedicate his whole life to recovery, and I'm sure he'll make a try, and he'll end up winning 2 or 3, on the senior tour, and people will call it the greatest thing of all time because it happened by Tiger Woods.
Yeah, that in itself is a problem for me. Anything that he does has got to be the greatest because it's Tiger Woods. But
yeah.
I've spent a lot of time covering the PGA Tour, and they say I haven't been on the tour in the last three years, and they say that he's mellowed out and that age has made him a more approachable and nicer guy. Because when he was in his prime, and I was watching him play golf in his 30s, he was so focused. Everybody says he was aloof, and he was mean-spirited, and he was just not a nice person. I agree with all those things, but I think it had more to do with his focus of the game than it did that he just wasn't a nice guy. I think he was just, when he was at a golf course, his only focus was to win, and he was there to work, and he wasn't there to be messed with or for all the peripheral stuff to bother him. And I think that came off as kind of being a jackass to people, but it really was just the way he had been trained by his father since he was 4.
Well, and now we know what was going on off the course during all that, right? And during his prime, he had porn stars.
And Galen's in that area on 75. Are you there, Galen? Galen, we lost you. We lost you. We lost you right before you started to say porn stars, and we lost you.
Yeah, well, he had porn stars in different hotels, and he had a completely different life off the course. He had this life with his wife and his children. He had his golf life, and then he had this whole other side of him. And I think that was very, very probably difficult to manage. I mean, I have one wife. I can't manage that.
It reminds me of the Seinfeld episode. You remember the time where George said,
sure,
relationship George and friendship George can't, right, the worlds can't collide or it'll be the end of the world?
Correct.
And that's what happened with Tiger. Tiger had married Tiger and on the road golf Tiger. And then they all came together and collided right around the Thanksgiving holiday in 2009. We all remember what happened then. That was the first time he was reported an accident, backed into a light pole or a fire hydrant, but it was because he was trying to duck a 3-iron.
Well, and again, don't forget all the Oxycontin issues and the pain pill use. All that was a factor into his life and into what he had become. And I think there was such a facade put up that he was trying to fight that. And I think, to his credit, I think he had learned from his mistakes, and I think he had figured out that I kind of need to be a better person. So, yeah, I think that's all part of it. And also, all of that is why he's still the most, maybe important isn't the right word, but the most interesting athlete in American sports. He's fascinating. You look at his weather, because we've known him his entire existence since he was, 3, right? We've known Tiger Woods.
The Mike
He's been
Douglas
part
show.
of our
Yep.
culture. Right. And so I think because of that, we've seen him his whole life, and we feel like we know Tiger, and I think that plays a huge factor in all this. And he's an interesting guy. He's very smart. He's incredibly talented. I think he's the most talented golfer to ever walk the face of the earth. I think injuries and his lifestyle caught up to him. Whereas Jack, when he got married, his wife changed him and improved his golf game. I think Tiger's lifestyle caught up.
Jack and his wife were a working team.
Correct.
Once Jack got married. And Tiger's life, I think you're entirely correct. I think Tiger's lifestyle of the 20s and early 30s caught up with him. And, I think he's going to go out on the...
But again, I was just going to say, in Tiger's defense, Jack didn't have anything approaching the microscope that was on Tiger.
No.
Nothing in the hemisphere. Jack was winning tournaments when 3 or 4, maybe outside of the majors, were televised. And even the majors weren't all live during his heyday. So, with Tiger, when he walked out of his car, there was a camera. No matter where he was at, his practice rounds were televised. So it's a completely different world.
It certainly is. We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we'll talk more about this. Plus, we'll talk, there's some news out of Orlando that's a little disconcerting about the Orlando Lions Soccer Club. We'll talk about that as well. Galen Unall brought to you by the good folks at Penn Flooring and Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center. We'll be right back after this short timeout.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
We face choices every day. Some are unimportant, some are life-changing. What about the choices you make every day? Take the stairs or the elevator, baked or fried. What if your choices meant you are likely to die of heart disease this year? Palm Garden of Ocala is here for you when recovering from a hospital stay. With Palm Garden's Fast Track program and state-of-the-art facility, we have skilled nursing, therapy, and everything you'd expect for the best in care. Call 352-854-6262 for more information.
Now you did it. Are you completely insane? He's back. He, who must not be named. The man, the myth. The only guy in Ocala to eat his own weight in fried pickles. Twice. Now, you asked for it. Sorta. Live and in person. It's Tom Schmitz.
Welcome back to a Wednesday edition of Ocala Talks. Galen Unall's on the line with us, brought to you by the good folks at Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center. They're located at 2700 Southwest 34th Street. They offer skilled nursing, physical, occupational, and speech therapy. If you have any questions how Palm Gardens is handling the COVID-19 pandemic, give them a call, 352-854-6262. We'd also like to thank family-owned and operated Penn Flooring. They've been serving Marion County for over 30-plus years. They do both commercial and residential flooring. Give them a call. Go by their showroom at 1201 Southwest 17th Street here in Ocala, or give them a call, 352-351-3420. Back out to the phone lines, Galen Unall. We're talking about Tiger Woods and the tragic accident that happened yesterday. Single car accident, single occupant. Jaws of life had to be used to retract him. But from all indications, he was lucid. He was having a conversation with the police officers that were on the scene and the first responders. Surgery yesterday just looks like it's going to be, if toxicology reports come back, Galen, just looks like it's going to be one of those normal people, everyday happenings where somebody got in a car accident.
Yeah, Yeah, and I think that would be the best scenario for everyone. And nobody else was hurt. There was another car that stopped that got hit, but nobody else was hurt.
I don't know if you saw this story out of Orlando, though, but and I got to pull up the guy's name. I already forgot his name. He's a soccer player for the Orlando City Soccer Club, and he was arrested last night for sexual assault.
Okay.
You don't see this happen very often, where, in our area, you don't see a lot of Tampa Bay Rays or Tampa Bay Buccaneers that are getting arrested for sexual assault. You don't see a lot of the Dolphins. There's been some hanky-panky with some hazing and all with the Dolphins, but you don't see a lot of them get arrested. It's not something that you've seen college players get this kind of thing, but when this happens, it just sends up a red flag that, you forget sometimes that athletes maybe think that they're above the law.
No, well, I mean, I happens a lot actually in sports. I mean, we NFL athletes who have been charged with rape. Well, who was the player who seemed to rape women whenever he was on the road? And I mean, Ray Caruth killed his wife. It happens, but it's a part of society, unfortunately. And I think this guy will shine a huge light on that. I mean, Ben Roethlisberger was accused of rape. We know Kobe Bryant basically was found guilty of rape in a civil court. And he admitted to it basically to his wife by buying her that big
Wow.
thing. So, yeah.
Jonathan Suarez Cortez. He's not played a game yet for the Orlando City team, but he is.
Oh,
on the
there you
team.
go. I'm sure he's released today.
Yeah. But, like we just saw that Kellen Winslow II just was resentenced again for the sexual assault of a woman.
Absolutely.
A woman over 60.
That's his thing, by the way. That's like I think that's like the fourth time he's been accused, and the second time he's going to be found guilty. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah. So it's one of these things sometimes, though, that people think sports stars think they're above the law. Though I think that I think the general public really believes, they actually arrested him. That's surprising. I thought they were above the law. You hear that a lot from people.
Well, and I think that they don't really understand it. So I mean, when I see like no matter what end of the talent pool, it's because they work harder than everybody else. 90% of the time, it's because they're putting in the devotion into their craft. And I see a lot of kids who have a lot of talent who don't put in that work ethic, and they don't shine. And when you're that devoted to a craft, it's hard to get distracted by much else. So, and that's why sports are such a great outlet for kids, and that's why most athletes stay out of trouble. They have a higher graduation rate. We know all those facts, both men and women, has a massive impact on their life. So, that's a fact.
Let's talk about a feel-good story in our area now. Switching gears to
anything better than that.
Switching to high school sports. Last night, the Forest Wildcats beat the Fletcher basketball team. They won that was in the semifinals of the regional playoffs. Mm-hmm. Forest is now in the finals of the regional playoffs. This Forest basketball team looks like they're 19-7 now. They look like they're pretty good and could go quite a ways in this tournament. Yeah,
I mean, it's a team we've played twice this year for Vanguard. I know most of the kids on that team, and what they have found is they've gotten some really good guard play. Brennan Laurent, who's the junior, he's the best player to come out of Ocala probably since Freddie Riley, in the early 2000s. I mean, Brennan, and
we just lost you. Galen, are you there?
They got
Galen, we lost you. You said.
Oh, I'm right here.
You said the early 2000s, and then we lost you.
Oh, Yeah, Freddie Riley from the early 2000s, but Brennan Laurent, long kid, 6'7", and then they got Jeremiah Russell, who's 6'8". They got 3 other kids who are over 6'4". This team, if they could get the right guard play and they continue to play defense the way they did, they can go a long way. And I think that I want to be very clear. They did lose to Vanguard by 20 points, and I think that loss really opened up the eyes of that team and realized they can't just mail it in. And to the opposite of Vanguard, that was the only really good game they played all year. And coaching matters, and Coach Ashley's a heck of a basketball coach, and I think he's got his team ready and peaking at the right time.
Can this team make the Final Four?
No, but they're good. And I'll tell you why. They have to play Eastlake. Eastlake I've seen play several times because one of the kids I coached this summer is their starting 2 guard. And Eastlake is an incredible basketball team. For a 6A school, they're number 1 in the state. They haven't lost. Their average margin of victory is like 30. They've got 4 kids who are potentially D1 basketball players. No, Eastlake is incredible. Eastlake plays great defense. They run the court. They can beat you from deep. They can beat you inside. They have some smart basketball players, and they're incredibly well coached. I think Eastlake is incredibly talented team. And now, could Forest win until they get to Eastlake? Maybe. We'll see.
I just think that, Marion County sports right now, under the leadership of the county the county athletic director, Jody Phillips, and with all the good ADs you have, Donnie Tucker is now at Forest, with the ADs you have, and with the coaching these kids get in all sports, I just think, and I haven't been in Marion County all my life. You have. I hadn't been in Marion County all my life. But I think right now Marion County sports are in the best shape across the board that I've seen them in the 14 years I've lived here.
Well, I don't think this is the best basketball that Marion County.
No, I mean across
had.
the board, though.
Across the board, yeah, there's more sports. I don't, when you look at some of we used to be really, really competitive in baseball. Like year in, year out, Marion County schools, specifically Forest, was an elite level. But our softball teams are fantastic. I mean, we won a state title with Forest, 5 years ago now? Yeah, I mean, you could make an argument our cross-country teams are incredibly competitive. Volleyball, some of the best volleyball in the country is played
right here in Marion County. Exactly.
Yeah, you could make an argument. I mean, our football coaches are incredibly talented. When you look at really the top 3 and
three Final Four, you had three Final Four teams in football.
Right, and then you got Brady Ackerman going to Bellevue. We'll see what he does there. Yeah, I mean, you can make a case. We have arguably the best cross-country team coach in the state at the high school level at Vanguard. Yeah, you can make an argument for it. Absolutely. That's what I had to sound out. Yeah.
you had to work through that, is what you're saying.
There's some at the basketball. There's some questions I have about some of the coaches, but Coach Ashley's the best in the county basketball coach. So,
I just think that across the board, Marion County is doing pretty good athletics-wise in the Florida High School Athletic Association. Hey, Galen.
Absolutely.
Today's Wednesday. It's an important day because it's midweek day, hump day. So if people want to go and donate today, where can they go?
Yeah, well, they could go right there in the Shores. Again, we're at the Walmart in the Shores. It seems to be our favorite place. And we're also right on the boulevard, 1607 East Silver Springs Boulevard. And visit us at lifesouth.org. You can find out all the information about what we're doing with COVID and how you can help if you have the antibodies. It's interesting. Our COVID antibody rate is going down, and it's almost mirroring the community's positivity rate. So But we still need COVID plasma, so come by and donate. Give to Get the Life, donate blood.
All right, Galen, we'll talk to you tomorrow, buddy.
All right, be good. Thanks, y'all. Bye.
WOCA, the source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
5 board members of the Electric Reliability Council of Texas resigned Tuesday after the state power system failed during a deadly winter storm, leaving more than 4 million customers without electricity. All of the 5 board members live outside of Texas. Texas Governor Greg Abbott said he welcomed the resignations. Pilgrim's Pride Corporation, one of the largest U.S. poultry producers, pleaded guilty and was sentenced to pay $107.9 million fine on Tuesday to settle federal charges it conspired to fix chicken prices and pass on the cost to consumers. Chief Executive Fabio Sandri entered the guilty plea in Denver, Colorado Tuesday. A plea agreement had been reached in October. The Tesla Model Y standard range car was removed from the automaker's website over the weekend without explanation. Tesla CEO Elon Musk said he wasn't going to introduce the vehicle at all because the range of the car would be unacceptably low at less than 250 miles. USA Radio News.
The stress levels of Americans may be at an all-time high. From education to business to basic needs to politics, the 2020 pandemic-related stressors are pushing many of us to near breaking point. That's why you should consider the stress and pain-relieving products from sunny-bay.com, like our lavender neck wraps and pads infused with premium Washington lavender buds. They relieve tension and relax with a soothing scent of lavender. And lifestyle expert Jennifer Bonner recommends products from Sunny Bay.
Sunny Bay's hands-free neck wrap should be your go-to pain relief solution.
Give gifts to family and friends that relieve stress and pain. Give love and care by giving the best. Give pillows, neck wraps, and body wraps from sunny-bay.com, a Biomed DB design company. Just click sunny-bay.com. That's sunny-bay.com.
Visit the Appleton Museum of Art to see the new special exhibits, Memories and Inspiration. The Carrie and C. Betty Davis collection of African American art being shown for the first time in Florida. The 62 extraordinary paintings, photographs, sculptures, and more are on view through March 28th. Visit on Saturday or Sunday in February and enjoy free admission. For more information, visit appletonmuseum.org.
Calling all veterans of Florida, the North-South Institute is offering a tuition-free training program in allied services, agriculture, and auxiliary industries. This training program also pays a stipend of $1,000. In addition, our enrollment incentive program pays $75 for each veteran that is referred and enrolled in the program. Yes, if you refer 10 veterans, you'll receive an extra $750. Call NSI at 954-434-8220 to register.
On the first and third Wednesday mornings each month at 9:05 a.m., Robert Colin with On Top of the World will be our guest as we learn all about the exciting lifestyle and new home choices available at Ocala's premier adult active community, On Top of the World. From time to time, Robert will bring guests, and you're sure to enjoy our little chats. After all, you deserve the world, and we bring it to you.
Veterans Helping Veterans USA. Call 352-433-2320. We help veterans and their families with limited financial assistance, counseling, employment referrals, and a food and clothing bank. You can help in making a huge difference in the veterans' lives we serve by donating food, clothing, household items, or direct financial assistance. All donations are tax deductible.